So I was thinking after I got a couple of responses from my last video, a lot of people were saying that they have a lot of good friends. And I'm just curious about that. And what I mean is, do you just have friends that you talk to on the phone? Do you text message them? Are these people you actually hang out with? For me, I don't really have any friends that I hang out with. In the last 6 months, I had one person that I actually went to the gun range with and to a gun show. Besides that, since I've moved here, I think I've been at this place 6 months. I've had no visitors except for my family. They came up once for, I forget what it was. But they came up, I think, at the middle of the fall and had a little cookout. But that was it. I've invited people up. I've invited my friends up multiple times, told them they would love it out here. It's peaceful, relaxing. And they kept saying they would come, but no one's ever come. So at that point, I finally realized, let me just stop inviting people. And I'm at the point that I really don't care anymore. I'm enjoying myself out here. Yeah, it's not important. Like, I haven't invited anyone up here in a long time. Someone recently mentioned coming up here. I said, hey, if you want to, come on up. But I'm no longer actively inviting anyone up to come here. This is my piece. And like I said, if somebody wanted to join me, they can join me, but I'm not begging for anyone to come. But back to the friendship thing. So for me, all my high school friends, when I say all, probably 98% of them moved out of the state. Most of them in Atlanta, some down in California. We got a buddy in Vegas. I may talk to these people through text messages, maybe once, twice a year at the most. My weightlifting friends were the next group of people that I hung out with, and a big group of friends that we always go to the gym together. And those guys, I would say, our schedules changed. You know, back when we were younger, we all got off work around 5 o'clock. Everyone would meet at the gym 5 o'clock. And we'd all have a great workout. And those people on the weekends, we'd hang out together. You know, we'd go to the bar together, or we go to bodybuilding shows together. You know, one of the big things was going to different gyms. So on the weekends, group of friends, instead of going to our regular gym, we'd drive to New York and go to a gym out there, or drive somewhere in PA and go to another gym. Just kind of mixing it up. But like I said, I would also hang out with these guys on the weekend. So my gym buddies, that might have ended, I don't even know how long ago at this point. But like I said, people had kids, got older, moved away. So I no longer have my gym buddies. I still have a couple of them, maybe 3 of them that I still, like I said, once a year, twice a year, will text, maybe talk to on the phone, but usually just texting. The next group of friends that I had were people that danced salsa. I was big in this. I wouldn't say I was a great dancer, but I was into salsa dancing for 10 years. I think that was really in my late 30s, early 40s. Ton of friends. I mean, this was a group of people that I would see 3 times a week. I'd invite them to my house for parties that I would have. We would all dance and hang out. That was a big group of friends. I had maybe 20 people anytime I can call up and say, hey, let's go out. And somebody be down to go out dancing that night. So with the salsa, I'd probably say more than even my bodybuilding group of friends, even maybe more than my high school group of friends, as far as just people readily available to go out and do something, because we all had something in common. But I stopped dancing salsa not too long ago. When I say not too long ago, I'm thinking 6 years ago. I might have gone out maybe like 4 years ago. But I finally just cut it off about 6 years ago. And I really stopped dancing all the time, maybe 10 years ago. So that group of friends, they actually still live where they lived when I met them. So most of those people, like I said, if I was still dancing salsa, I'd probably still have that group of friends. They go on vacations. They just went to Panama, a group of them. And I saw the pictures on Facebook. But I just said, I'm just no longer into that. And that's really what we had in common. You know, dancing salsa. So it wasn't, and there might be 1, 2, I think 2 of them, once again, that I'll still text or reach out to once or twice a year. The only other group of friends I could say that I had for a while was my bike riding group. Thursdays and Fridays, we'd ride in the city in Philly. And I think I hung with these guys for like 5 years. And sometimes we do a little cookout or barbecue, but the ride outs were the big thing. It was something to look forward to on the weekends. Like we would go on big ride outs, you know, a group of 15, 20 guys, and we just all get on our bikes and just cruise the city. Sometimes we go to different areas, but usually it was in the city. And like I said, sometimes, an individual would have a barbecue at their house and we'd go. So those were my groups of friends, all those different activities and hobbies that I had and the groups of friends that I had. It's not that we're no longer friends or something happened. We grew apart, moved apart, or interests changed. So that's all that was. So I'm just curious, anybody who actually is my age and between 50 and 55 and has friends that they actually hang out with, is that because, they still live in the same town that you guys grew up in? Or did you meet new friends with new hobbies and still have those same interests? Because like I said, if I still was riding my bikes and still dancing salsa, I would probably still hang with a lot of those people. The bike riding pretty much ended because my job, I wasn't available Thursdays and Thursdays and Sundays. I just wasn't available every Thursday and Sunday. It got to the point that I would miss one or two, and then I missed another one. Then something would come up, and it was to the point that I just wasn't hanging out and riding enough with those guys. And now it's about an hour and a half away. I always say to myself, I'm going to get back into the riding at least. The salsa, I might get back into that, but I don't think I'll ever hang with those same people. Maybe I'll meet some new friends. But the good thing about the salsa is I met most of the people at the classes that I took. So I'm not going to get too much into that. Like I said, I had those groups of friends, and I no longer hang with anybody. It's just me. So I'm just curious, other people, when you say that you have a great group of friends, are you actually hanging out with these people? And if so, how is that possible? Like I said, at my age, I just don't see that many people doing that anymore. Definitely in your 30s and 40s, yeah, I had a lot of friends that we would hang out. But anyone they're 50, 55, my age range, let me know if you still have a group of friends that you hang out with on a regular basis, and how you kept it going that long.